Hi everyone, welcome back. Nicole here with Edge of Wild Farm, and today I'm working on starting the next week's round of seedlings. What I'm starting this week include some Agerium, which this is really an experiment for me. I've never grown this before. I'm not sure it's going to get tall enough to use as a cut flower, so I'm starting about 50 seeds. We're just going to see how it does. I'm not really sure that's what I'm going to end up using. One that I am going to use, and I'm also very excited about, is Feverfew. I have two varieties that I am starting. I'm going to start 10 seeds out of each, and I'm actually going to start 10 seeds out of each for the next 5 weeks. Feverfew, from what I read, because this is also the first year with this, it usually gives you like 3 to 5 stems a plant, but you're best to have successions of it. So that's my plan, is to just have successions all the way through. They add a nice airy texture to a bouquet. So both of mine are a white variety, and they're just like a cluster of flowers. They're able to tuck into bouquets and add that airy texture. The next one that I'm starting are marigold seeds, and I am starting the cocoa gold and giant yellow. So I'm doing 50 of the gold and 25 of the yellow. In about 2 weeks, I'll start the same thing again, just to have a succession of those going as well. Then, the best thing about having garden friends is they share seeds. So I had a local friend to me that had ordered one too many packets of Madame Butterfly Pink Snapdragon seeds. So she said she would bring me over the packet. So she did. We had a nice visit. And I have about 50 seeds to start from that. So I'm going to fill up the tray as much as I can with those. And then we'll see how those do. She got these from Redemption Seeds, is where she had ordered from. I also am going to start my Mahogany Splendor Hibiscus. So I'm only going to do about probably 10 seeds. I'm really only looking, I think, for like 6 plants. From what I hear, because also first year trying a lot of these. First year with that one, and from what I hear, it's a beastly plant that gets huge. So I don't know that I necessarily need a lot of them. I'm hoping the deer don't like them because I want to put them in the landscape. One, because they do get so big, I can kind of use them as a way to add some red depth to my landscape and my flower beds. And two, then I have them for cut flowers. They won't be ready because you don't actually cut the stems on those until they've actually hardened a little bit and they're more woody. They won't be ready till the fall. So I'm hoping to mix all those in with my dahlias. And in terms of vegetable seeds, because those are all the cut flowers that I'm starting this week, the last thing that I'm starting this week is going to be my tomatoes. We're about 6 weeks out from our last frost date. Our last frost date's about May 20th here. Really to put out warm season stuff and it be warm enough at night, June 1st. Memorial weekend. That's kind of what we always say. So tomatoes don't go out before then. So that's kind of what I'm counting on. Maybe a week to harden them out or harden them off outside, and then I will plant them out. But I am starting some indigo cherry drops because I have a friend looking for some of those. Super sweet 100s and some sun peach. So the sun peach are new to me. The super sweet 100s I've been doing those for 3 years now. 3 years now. And I love them. They are so good and so sweet. The only problem is they crack really easily if it rains. So the sun peach are supposed to be more crack resistant. So I'm hoping I can have those and have less of the cracking. The indigo cherries are actually really dark. So they have the purple coloring from the exposure to sunlight. They take a long time to ripen, but they're really, really good when they do. For tomatoes this year, my large tomatoes, I'm starting Brandywine, which this is going to be my first year with a Brandywine. From what I hear, everyone loves them. They're a large tomato. They have a deep pink skin. They're really, really flavorful. So I'm really looking forward to having those. I have Nepal tomatoes, which these are awesome. They're on the large side of a medium tomato, but they're like perfectly shaped and have a really, really good flavor. So I really liked those last year. Striped German, I've been growing these for 2 years now. I like these ones because the color, they're a bicolor red and yellow tomato. They have a really good flavor, but being that they are heirlooms, they are ones that are more prone to cat facing due to how many ribs there are on the tomato. So it's kind of one you have to pay attention to and know that there might be a spot you have to cut around. I also have Mountain Fresh Plus, which are determinate tomatoes, so they don't get quite as big. I don't do a lot of pruning on those, but they make a really strong tomato plant, and they work well for gardeners that maybe don't have as much space for some of the other indeterminate varieties that get huge. They have a very consistent fruit size as well. I also have Lemon Boy Plus tomatoes, which these are a yellow tomato. They will be the first year I'm growing them. I believe they're new with Johnny's this year. They have a citrusy flavor is what's described, so I'm looking forward to trying that. And then I have the Balance tomato, which is a kind of like an orangish yellow tomato, and they're medium in size. Honestly, I just thought it looked cool, so I wanted to try it. So I'm starting 6 different varieties of large tomatoes. I'm actually going to start those in. I've already filled up these trays. I'm going to start these in these bigger 6-packs, and I'll start probably about 6 seeds per cell. Once they get growing, then I will move them into, I have red solo cups. I think I'm going to move them right into the red solo cups. Kind of depends on how much height they get. If they look like they still have some room and I can't get them too deep into the cup, I will probably start them in some more, I think they're Dixie cups, but they're smaller than a red solo cup, bigger than like a little paper cup. Put them in those so they can get a little taller, and then pot them deeper into the red solo cups once I'm at that point. Tomato plants, the whole stem will actually turn into roots, so all the little hairs on the stem can turn into roots, so you're able to plant those deeper and deeper, and it just makes for a stronger and stronger plant. So a lot of times when I start them inside, especially starting them on the slightly early side, so I'm going to have all those weeks inside, they'll get huge if I don't keep potting them up in the container size and moving that stem further down into the soil. So I'm going to get started putting everything together, and we'll speed through all of it because I think at this point you understand. You put the seed in the dirt, cover the seed if it says so on the back of the packet, add in our vermiculite, and then put them under the lights. Fast forward 48 hours because I didn't have time to finish the video prior to leaving. Got everything planted, so the Ageraria, marigolds, feverfew, the snapdragons from my friend, and tomatoes and the mahogany splendor hibiscus. So nothing is germinated yet. I'll give you a peek. Nothing that I can see. But that's okay. Like I said, it's only been 48 hours. gonna let everything do its thing. Everything was planted same as everything else has been. The tomatoes, like I said, planted like 6 to 7 seeds in a cell, so that way I get multiple tomato plants, and then I'll pot them up as I need to. Everything else is looking pretty good. Actually, it's really dry. So I watered it before I left, but it's amazing how fast they'll dry out. So here's some asters. They're definitely crusty, dry soil. More asters. Celosia. Looks like just about everything's done germinate. That one needs some water too. These asters probably need their lid taken off. Oh yeah, they're looking good. And then everything that I thinned out looks pretty good. The snapdragons. It's almost dark back there without the lights. Same with these snapdragons. The Sweet Williams looks like it actually liked being moved around and potted a little deeper, so happy about that. Yarrow looks happy. Still waiting on the delphiniums to finish kind of doing their thing. I'm just letting them go as they go. Cabbage all looks good. Looks like just 7 Brussels, so almost as many as I wanted. We'll take that. It's a pretty old seed. Next year I'll have to get new. Onions are just starting to poke through, so I think some water will help out that situation. Like I said, everything got pretty dry pretty fast. Oh, ranunculus. So I brought those out. Those still look like they have plenty of moisture. And, oh, I think that one has some growth. I'm not certain. So right there, I think there's a little bit of growth. Well, not going to be growth if I dump this thing. Nope, there's definitely some growth down here on that one. Alright, so we at least have a small amount of success with the ranunculus. That's encouraging. That's encouraging. We'll keep an eye on those and how they continue to focus. Yeah, so everything's looking pretty good so far for the season. Getting excited. Another 3.5 weeks. And I think we're going to be putting the snapdragons and the cold veggies outside in the garden. Yay! I'm also going to start watering with fertilizer for probably all of the snaps. The vegetables, I think they'll be good. Everything else, I'm waiting for them to get some true leaves before I take off with that. But I think these other trays are ready. So I'm excited. So, thanks for coming along, everyone. I will see you next week for more seed starting. That's right. It's that time of year. Have a great week, everyone.